Hi there, North Webster Community Church. This is Tim Jones, serve as the executive pastor. I'm excited to present to you for the first time this year in our missions campaign a new partnership that we've discovered, and excited to introduce to you Magical Meadows. And I'm here tonight with Tammy Stackhouse and with Carl Adams, and I'm excited to share their story with you. They're located just south of Oswego here in Kosciuszko County, and they're doing a pretty neat work here. So excited to tell you a little bit more about who they are and their story and how that might fit our mission together. And so I guess I don't really mind who answers this first question. Maybe it's a both and, but can you tell us what Magical Meadows is all about?
When I think of Magical Meadows over the last 18 years that I've been involved with it, the thing that comes to my mind more quickly than anything is that miracles still happen, that I see them on a daily basis. And you would think going on a horse ride, what is that? But I've seen up close and personal that it's more than a horse ride or a pony ride. It is a life-changing thing from 1-year-old up to 89, 90-year-olds that have been here. So that's been my driving force. I love to see miracles, and I love what I see out here on a regular basis.
It's awesome. Tammy, what would you say?
You know, I have to agree with Carl in the fact that so many people look at people with disabilities and think that of all the things that they can't do. And yet every day we see all the beautiful things that they can. And when you see a wheelchair set up on the ramp, empty as can be, and a person on a horse with such disabilities that that's their only way of getting around, it is a beautiful sight to see. And so blessed to be able to provide that for not only our riders, but their families as well.
Awesome. That kind of leads me to the next question, and that is, you do serve a variety of clients out here at Magical Meadows. Can you tell us a little bit about the types of clients that do come out and utilize the services?
Yeah. So Magical Meadows, if you look at our core values, we work with individuals with physical, cognitive, and emotional disabilities, but really it goes much more than that. The obvious ones are the physical disabilities, those that you can see, somebody that is blind, or somebody that has an altered gait because of a stroke or cerebral palsy. And then you have the autistic kids, which a lot of us know and see on a daily basis. But such a wide span of different levels of autism that are out there that a lot of times they're not recognized and unfortunately misunderstood by the community, because sometimes they're misconstrued as being rude or different things like that. The emotional component is really the hard one, because you know, at the end of the day, I believe that we all kind of fall into that category, and I believe that that horse can sense and feel and know when that person is very stressed or anxious. Horses can sense your heartbeat up to 6 feet away.
Oh, wow.
And so they can tell as your heart is regulating and coming in sync with theirs. And it's a beautiful thing to witness.
Wow.
But and then of course we have the veterans and first responders. We know, you know, that there are so many of the invisible wounds of war that a lot of the veterans deal with on a daily basis, and also the first responders, because a lot of them go to calls that are horrific, and so it kind of leaves, I'm sure, that same kind of impression. So we're excited with this program that we're going to be able to allow them that place where they can just come and just decompress before they go home to their families.
Now, this is such a great property out here, and we're hoping to share some of that with you through our video footage, but it's a peaceful place out here. Magical Meadows is almost 30 years old. Is that correct? Coast? Was it 2007?
2007. So 19 years.
90, sorry, that was bad math on my part. I'm curious, and I think it'd be helpful to also share, but for both of you, what are some of the reasons you decided to start Magical Meadows?
So I was a school bus driver. That was my for fun job. And a young man on the bus was autistic. And his mom knew I had horses. And so she said, why don't you do therapeutic horseback riding? And when I began to research what that really was, I knew that it could be so helpful. And at the end of the day, there was a time in my life that I needed those horses as well. And I just believe that the Lord allowed me this opportunity to be able to share my love for horses, my love for people, and to put that together in a way that could be healing. And being out in nature, I grew up out here, so I know what it's like to be able to live in this peace.
Well, we don't know each other very well, the couple of times we've been out here, but I can tell that energy and that joy kind of flows from you, so both for the animals, but for the work that you're doing out here.
Yeah.
Pastor Carl, how about you? What are some of the reasons you have been involved?
Again, I came out 18 years ago. I'd been pastoring in the southern part of the country around Memphis for a while. The kids were getting older, and they wanted to be close to Grandma and Grandpa. So we made the decision that we were going to resign there and come to Indiana. So there for a while I was teaching some at one of the schools, and for the summer type job I went to Cardinal Services, and I took over taking care of a couple gentlemen, a couple brothers. And one of those brothers happened to be riding at the other place. So I watched, and I watched how he was involved. I watched how Miss Tammy took care of all of that. And I've always, since I was young, I've always wore a cowboy hat, always wore the boots. But that's it, When I was pastoring down there, everybody knew Cowboy Carl or Pastor Carl because of the hat. But you don't think that God He's orchestrated it, since the beginning. So little did I know that the cowboy hats and the boots and just the love of horses, although they call me a concrete cowboy because I really don't know what I'm doing. But as I began to watch and see what it was doing to these gentlemen, I asked Tammy if I could happen to be able to join the board. And she said, yeah. So I started in that path. And before long, we decided that we needed the property away from her personal property. And at that point, I took over as executive director, and we moved here. And it's just been a driving force for me ever since then. That, again, I didn't know where God was taking us, but He knew where He was taking us. And it has evolved to that point to where we sit today. And the next chapter, I believe, is just going to be phenomenal. And I hope the Lord allows me to hang around long enough to see some of that. And I believe He will. But that's kind of where I came from. Just happened to, it wasn't happenstance, it was God ordained. And now we sit here on the Cracker Barrel porch talking to you.
It is a Cracker Barrel porch, yeah. So, I would encourage our people to go to your website,
yes.
magicalmeadows.org.
TheMagicalMeadows.org.
Because you can learn a lot about what they do here. One thing I know, one question will come out is on your website, you're not overtly Christian-based, but if you spend enough time around here, you kind of get a sense, there is a sense that faith is an important component
Absolutely.
Of the services you do here. I wondered if either one of you would speak just a little bit to that, how that's kind of a driving force for you.
All right, we'll let Tammy start there.
Well, Obviously, we wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for the Lord placing it upon my heart and allowing me to be on this journey. And I am so blessed to be able to feel His presence in everything that we do here, and I believe that each and every day there's that opportunity to bring that testimony to individuals who come onto this property, and I guess I wouldn't want it any other way. We don't hide our faith here, and you can see it in our staff and our volunteers, and I just believe that God will continue to direct as we continue on this journey.
Sure, sure.
I think one of the things several years ago, some people told us that you have to separate that. You can't let your business world and the donors know that you're faith-based, because some of them won't want to give. And we realized right up the front that we were not going to do that, that it is a faith-based place. We believe in God. We believe in what He's brought us to, and we've stood firm on that. You know, as a pastor and counselor, I spend countless hours at times talking to some of our parents that are going through struggles. You know, they come out here for an hour, but they deal with their children for 24 hours a day. So, and we've noticed as some of them get a little older, that some of the friends that they have and all that kind of thing begins to, because the child isn't so cute anymore, so they begin to move away. So they need that encouragement. They need to know that God loves them. And that will continue to be the focus of where we go, because I believe that's how He's brought us together. That's what it's meant to be. So, and hey, the ones that told us that you couldn't do it, I would just have to say, trust the Lord, because look what He's done.
Yeah.
And so we stand on that.
Well, and they have a cool little chapel on the property.
Yes.
Pastor Carl helped build, and they do some wedding ceremonies and some special services. And in the past, they've held services here, church gatherings. So, for sure, there's a spiritual emphasis here
Yes.
and underlying tone. So there's no doubt. I'm going to throw a question your way that wasn't in the original questions, and that is there a unique story that comes to mind that has been unique for you, Tammy, that has kind of touched your heart of like, this is why we do what we do?
You know, everybody tells me to write a book because we have so many of those beautiful moments. Probably the one that sticks out to me so vividly is a little girl who was 3 years old at the time. She's 13 now, and she has Down syndrome. And Down syndrome children have a lot of times delay in their ability to walk. And so Miss Anna would come every week and would not ride a horse unless Cowboy Carl was with her. And each week he would get on with her, and they would go and they would do their ride, and she'd get off her horse and she'd have to love on Cowboy Carl. And this particular day, she got on her horse and she rode, and when she got off, her dad set her down and he said, well, you better go give Cowboy Carl a hug. And that little girl turned around and walked straight into Carl's arms, and there wasn't a dry eye in the house. And then she proceeded to walk out here on the pavement for the next several hours.
Wow.
And so those are one of those beautiful miracles that Pastor Carl alludes to, that we get to witness so many beautiful experiences like that. To see parents stand on the platform and and watch as their kids get on, and they might be kicking and screaming and really upset because they don't understand. And yet we get them on there, and Carl
Not
would
talking about the parents kicking and screaming.
yeah.
Right?
Carl would wrap his arms around those littles, and they would take off, and you could see those children relax into him and feel that movement of the horse. And you can stand next to those parents with tears running down their faces because they've been told time after time after time what their children won't do. And yet they get to see things that they
Those
can do.
miracles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so good. I appreciate you sharing that. Now, Magical Meadows is at a unique spot in that they're in the middle of a capital campaign to expand their facilities and their services, and so it's an exciting future. I'd like for both of you to talk a little bit about what that means for you guys and what you're hoping to accomplish.
Okay. Well, we're hoping, and it looks like it's going to take place. We're going to be putting up 2 new arenas, one on each side of the one we're standing in right now. The one over here to the west will be basically for the special need community. It's going to be about double the size of what we have here. So they will be focused on that, and they'll be able to, it will be to the point where we can ride all year long. Right now we ride simply from April, basically, maybe March, up until the end of November. Then it gets too cold, and so, but that's going to take the place of that. So that'll be there. The one over on this side will be the veterans and first responders building, and they will have the unique opportunity to be able to come out whenever they need to. Over here we have to do like hour sessions for each child, but over there it's unique because you never know when you're going to have a PTSD attack or a meltdown of some kind like that. I mean, we had one just last night that needed to come. So they will be over there. And one of the main reasons is the seclusion of that one. Another reason is, you know, sometimes adult soldiers and things, their language might be a little different than the children. So we want to make sure that that doesn't come into play at all. So those are going to be taking place. We're hopefully going to begin to break ground in October. So that's the goal. It looks like it's going to happen. We're about halfway. We figure it's going to be about a 2.2 million project. We're a little over 1 million now. 1.2 I think is the last I heard. So the money is coming in. And I think, I do believe once the buildings begin to go up, then I think it'll catch ground that, hey, it is happening. So that's the biggest dynamic that's taking place. Just gives us more room. We'll be able to increase. I mean, we don't like to turn anybody down, but the size, sometimes we just, you know, someone can't get in. And we do our best not to let that happen, and I don't think we'll have to worry about that once we get the buildings up. And then Joe's Kids is going to partner with us. They're going to be doing some therapy type things out here. It's just a whole new ball game that's going to take place. I can't even grasp really all the details it is going to be, but that's what's happening now. It's, Growing with Heart, I think, is the name of
I was going to ask you what the name of
the
the
campaign.
was. I couldn't remember.
And it's going good so far.
Good. Tammy, is there anything you'd like to add?
No, we do have a actual groundbreaking ceremony that will be taking place here on
The 20th.
the 27th? 24th.
September?
I'm sorry, yes, September.
Okay.
So, but whatever next Wednesday is.
Yeah.
Well, not this Wednesday. Yeah, next
The
Wednesday.
next Wednesday. Okay.
No, you know, to be able to see the opportunity to have this expansion go on, you know, as we are here in the community, and like Carl said, every day we get calls of new people that are just hearing about us, and which is sad to us when you've been here 19 years and people are just hearing. But I believe because of our expansion of our services and our partnerships that we're forming with, Joe's Kids and different other health organizations, I believe that it just allows the community to take the opportunity to get involved and to be able to be a part of this really neat thing here in Kosciuszko County.
Absolutely. Well, that's a little bit of our story too. I mean, we lived here for a while and we didn't know that you were just down the road. And so that kind of leads me to my last question tonight, and that is, how would people, if they wanted to learn more, if they wanted to support, if they wanted to get involved with your organization, what are some ways they could do that?
Yeah. First of all, I just invite you to stop by. I think that when you have the opportunity to walk onto this property, you will sense the purpose of the Magical Meadows, and then you get to witness and see the kids riding horses and things like that. So I always encourage people, please just stop by. But we have a beautiful website that has a lot of great information. Like you said, it's www.themagicalmeadows.org. We also have a Facebook page, which is The Magical Meadows, that usually shares lots of stories of our kids and happenings here at Magical Meadows. We've been very blessed over the last year that we've had a lot of stories that we've been sharing as far as our expansions and growth and things like that. So I'm so thankful for the opportunity for people to share and learn about us. So, anything else, Carl?
I think you've hit it, and I don't think it's so much. You like the people that are your big donors per se that can do the $200,000 or $300,000 deal, but $1, $10, come out and scoop poop for an hour or two. Those are the things that keep us going. Like I say, we don't turn any child down if they cannot afford to be here, and we hate that we have to charge, but it's not a Medicaid or Medicare.
It's not covered
it's
by
not covered
services,
by them, so we do have to charge some, but there's not a soul that wants to come out here that does get turned away because of finances. So those opportunities, if you want to sponsor a child for 6 weeks or a year, if you just want to donate some seed or something, grain for the horses, there's all sorts of different things to do. The best thing I think is to go online and do it that way, or just stop by here and say, hey, do whatever you need to do with this.
Yeah.
And so many different ways.
Well, I appreciate the time you guys given us tonight.
Thank you.
And for our church, I just want to say, check them out, either on their website. If you want to stop by, these are wonderful people to chat with, to get to know, and to figure out how you can support and be involved with Magical Meadows. So appreciate your time tonight. And
we appreciate you coming.
Yes.
We appreciate the church taking the opportunity to look at us. And just come join us, because I think it's going to be an incredible next 12 months as we go into this.
very, very excited to do this.
Thank you.